asked, I gave thanks in advance, I had no resistance to it coming, and it happened. That's how easy it should work. So we all have those days. We have those moments in life where we are like, just forget it. Like, I've done it all and nothing is working. I mean, like, I've tried everything. I've listened to this person, I've listened to that, I've read this book, I've done everything, and I still don't have what I desire to have. That's where your spiritual intuition comes in and your subconscious. If you are not marrying your intuition and your subconscious, you are missing the whole game. For those of you who are new, my name is Fran. Welcome to the channel. This channel is where we bridge this physical with the spiritual to create the life that we truly desire. And this is where I teach you that that is possible beyond a shadow of a doubt. So, the interesting thing about understanding our intuition is knowing that we are always guided. Like, I remember my spirit guides always telling me that if you just listen, right? Like, if you would just listen, we will guide you in the direction that you need to go. You won't have to second guess things if you just listen. But listening means understanding that you are connected to something bigger than yourself. However, we have this protection method, which is our subconscious mind, that's job is to keep us safe from everything that could possibly harm us and all the things that we fear. So all the things that we have feared in our lifetime is filed in our subconscious, right? So if you've ever had a fear of being broke, if you've ever had a fear of being alone, if you've ever had a fear of being sick, whatever it is, it's all filed in your subconscious, right? So when you do something new, so when you are intuitively guided to do something different, like I am going to say affirmations today. I'm going to start today. I'm going to say my affirmations and I am going to create my life. You may say something like, I am so wealthy. That goes in, it goes to the subconscious mind, and it meets doubt, right? And doubt says, hold it, wait a minute. I got all these files of everything, but I don't have a I'm so wealthy file. Where do I put this, right? Then doubt comes back up and says, I don't have any place to put this. And that's when your mind starts going into, well, where am I going to get the money? How am I going to get the money? Who's going to give me the money? Where's this money going to come from? I know that I have a divine substance, but where's the divine substance going to get it from? And how are they going to get it to me? Do you understand what I'm saying? We start to get all this doubt in our mind because the subconscious is not used to a positive thing. It's used to a negative thing. So immediately when you put in something positive, you are met with resistance. But intuitively, because you are a spirit being first, you know that I should have all the things that I desire. Because intuitively we are connected to something so much bigger, right? But here's the thing. If you never nourish that connection, if you never nourish your connection to your higher power, to the universe, to the highest source, to God, to however you identify it, there's this big disconnect between knowing that you know and thinking that you know. And being afraid that if something wonderful happens, something bad is going to happen. That is the way you have trained your subconscious mind to live in fear. Whatever you teach your subconscious mind is what your subconscious mind will believe. It does not know the difference between what's true and what's not true. However, it will give you resistance when you start to say something that it's not used to. It's kind of like a Will Robin's radar, danger, 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 right? It's saying to you, oh no, you can't do that. You can't become successful. You can't get married. You can't get this. You can't do that, because all of those things at maybe one point in your life have led to failure. So we have to empty the subconscious mind and rewire it, right? Because all the intuitive guidance, all the inspired action is passing you by because you're afraid to hear it. You're afraid to link into it. I love when my spirit guides give me direction. As a matter of fact, every day I ask my angels for clarity. Help me, teach me, show me, guide me. What is it that I need to know today? What is it that I need to do today in my business, in my life, in this meeting, when I get on the road? I always ask because I love that connection. That connection grows and grows when you nurture it. When you connect to good things, your subconscious begins to get an alert of, okay, something's happening. But in order for it to stick, you have to empty out the file cabinets of the subconscious mind. That's where the rewiring comes in. That's where the consistency comes in. You can't say, I'm rich one time and expect to be rich. You have to take the action of, what does a rich person do? What would I do today if I had all the money that I desired? And you need to get into that character. And then you need to say, okay, I used to say, I don't have any money. Which, when you think about saying, I don't have any money, and how many times you've said it, and then you come back and say, I'm rich, you'll completely understand why your subconscious mind is like, no, you're not. And we're not going to be rich because the last time you had some money, you wasted it and blew it. Because that's what you've told your subconscious mind. So the best way to rewire the subconscious mind is to find out what you truly believe. Right? So here's your homework. You have to sit down and ask yourself these 3 questions. Number 1, what could possibly go wrong if I had everything that I desired? And don't overthink it, but just what comes to your mind? What is the very first thing that comes to your mind when you ask yourself that question? Write it down. Number 2, ask yourself, why do I feel like I shouldn't have it? There is always some subconscious belief that we have established that tells us why we shouldn't have a thing. I shouldn't have money because I'm not good with money. I shouldn't have money because the last time I had a lot of money, I blew it. I shouldn't have money because I'm not a good steward of my money. Whatever the deal is, there's always a subconscious belief that is stopping you from getting from point A to point B. So we have to identify that. Step 3 is, why do I want to change the way I think? There are so many reasons to empty it out and rewire it, because that's not only going to connect you to all the good things that you're feeding it, all the good things you should be feeding it now, but it's going to connect you to some information intuitively that is going to set you on another track. And I know that a lot of people say, well, Fran, how do I know the difference between my intuition, God speaking to me, and me just talking? I tell you, like my mother and my mentor told me, you're not smart enough to know the things that you will know once you connect to higher power. And here's the thing, higher power is always there. The higher power, the source, your intuition, your discernment is always there. But sometimes we shut it off because we're feeding our mind such negative things. Do you think that your spirit guides walk around talking negative? They absolutely do not. And they don't engage in negative conversation. They don't engage in lower vibration frequencies. When you begin to elevate, your mindset begins to elevate, your connection begins to deepen. But you have to be consistent in that. You cannot rewire your subconscious in one day. You can do 24 hours worth of subliminals. You can do robotic affirming. You can do scripting. You can do the 21s. You can do it all in one day. It's not going to change unless you are consistent. Because you have to think about this. You've been consistently saying negative things this whole time. Now you have to change it. And you can do it. And once you do, you will notice that little things will start to happen. Your word will really become your wand. And as you begin to speak, things will start to appear. I remember the very first time I said, I would like to make $2,000 today. Assist me in this, guide me in this, show me how I can do it. And I went on about my business. I was sitting at my computer and I heard, offer this course. And I was like, okay, I've offered that course before. And they said, offer it again. I said, okay. I offered the course, sent it out, let it go. Gave thanks in advance. A lot of us miss that. Giving thanks in advance for the thing, right? I gave thanks in advance for what I was asking for. Went on about my business. I think I went to the gym, went and bought some things, had lunch with a girlfriend. My phone was just pinging. Payment, 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 payment. It was pinging so much that I had to turn it off. Like, you know how you have to silence your phone? I had to silence my phone. It was just vibrating, vibrating, vibrating. Payment after payment after payment after payment. And I was like, wow. I asked. I gave thanks in advance. I had no resistance to it coming. And it happened. That's how easy it should work. It's not hard to manifest and create. It's not hard to connect with your spiritual intuition. That's why you've been given it. And it really is your guidance system. But your subconscious is supposed to keep you safe. So if you fed it and told it all these things that you've been scared of your entire life, you got to start emptying those file cabinets and putting in good stuff. And you can do it. I know you can. All right, y'all. I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.